Hey, this is Harmon Cheema. Thank you for tuning in to our November episode of Cheema Connect. Now, here are your hosts, JTP and Jessica. Take it away.
All right, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Cheema Connect. As always, my name is Jamie Phillip. You might not recognize my new co-host. I'm joined this time by my dear friend, Miss Jessica Henry. Say hello, Jessica.
Hello, everyone.
Thanks for being on the program. This is pretty exciting.
Absolutely,
Is it your first time?
It is my
on
first
Cheema Connect?
time.
Oh, this
Yes,
is going to be
yes.
fun. Well, let's go ahead and get the program going. I have kind of a time capsule. I kind of organized some thoughts to share and discuss. We're going to kind of do a looking back. We're going to do what's going on now and what's coming up. What are we looking forward to? And I'll just jump right on. Looking back, we've had a lot of cool things happen since our last episode. Grand opening of the Albany, Oregon Drivers Lounge late in October. That was a lot of fun.
And so nice.
Oh my gosh,
So
they have a
nice.
fancy coffee maker in there. You push a button, it makes like lattes, cappuccinos, even like a vanilla mochaccino thing. I mean, like some of the coffee drinks are actually made up. I don't think they're actually real. There's like 15 or more different options, and you can choose the strength, you can choose the size, you can choose which like coffee bean you want it to be made from. It's like we're gonna have really picky coffee drinkers here before too long. That was cool, but we had a great turnout, and the driver's lounge itself is second to none. I mean, it is like a conference room. It's gorgeous. It's incredibly well done.
I saw the bathrooms. The bathrooms look amazing as well. How many showers? 2 showers? 3
Two showers, three bathrooms. Yep.
And lots of room to spread out and,
Streaming television, vending machines, microwave scanning station, leather lounges. You could just kind of sit back and relax or watch some TV, take your 10-hour break, what have you. But that was fun. We had a lot of fun hanging out with some drivers. I barbecued. So we were down there. I hit the grill, and I fed everybody lunch. It was fun.
Nice.
Also, Halloween has already come and gone. Can you believe that? This year is flying by fast, and we had some pretty suspicious characters show up to some of our terminal locations. We have a picture, I think, to share with you. Did you get dressed up this year for Halloween, Jessica?
Oh, yes. Halloween's my favorite holiday.
Your favorite
My favorite holiday because you get to be anybody that you want to be. You can be anybody you want to be. Well, anything you want to be. I'm usually some kind of dead situation, and there's almost always blood. So
There's a lot to unpack there.
think
What
that would
were
be a
you this year?
I was a vampire again this year, and something had happened because I had blood coming out of all of my orifices on my face.
Something
Yes.
happened is like a
Something
vampire.
must
but
have happened because, I was exploding from the inside.
was it
pretty
a
great.
vampire that worked at Cheema Freightlines and billing maybe too long? And is now bleeding from the eyes?
Never too long.
Yikes! Just kidding. It would be green anyway. not
Yeah, that's
red.
a very good point. Maybe
Yeah.
next year. That's a great idea.
I do remember there was a Bob Ross sighting. Bob Ross was here in Pacific, Washington. That was pretty exciting. I'm a huge Bob Ross fan. I don't
I
know if
almost
you know
died
that.
for a second time when he walked into this building.
Yeah, it was great. And the hair, by the way, is real. That thing is huge, and I'm not quite sure if he doesn't have like a second set of brushes up there, but there could be, animals in there for all I know. Squirrel, who knows?
He did look great.
He did fantastic. A couple other exciting things. Recently, Veterans Day we celebrated. I want to just echo that sentiment. Thank you to all of our veterans, both those in the office driving our equipment and everybody out there that served our country. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. We sure do appreciate that.
Extended family, all of them. Yes, thank you for your service.
One thing I'd be remiss if I didn't also highlight, a couple of weeks ago, my University of Washington Huskies defeated the Oregon Ducks. And it's been a while, and I was pretty excited about that. So sorry, fans of the Oregon Ducks, but Huskies beat you in Eugene, so you'll have to bring it next year. But that was exciting. That was really exciting for me. I also want to wish one of our driving professionals, Roger Dennison, if you're out there watching, a happy retirement. It was actually earlier that Roger retired, and we had a nice little send-off for him. Out of our Lathrop, California terminal, we had a die-cast truck gifted to him. We had a team ready to receive him, a short little reception photo opportunity. We actually have a picture to share of that as well. We want to wish him well. Hopefully he has a very happy retirement and enjoys all of his free time. Thanks for your service. Thanks for all of your hard work. Thanks for being a part of all of our growth these past several months and years. I want to also add, as we continue to reflect, that year to date so far, a little fact for you, 2022, we have already grown by 51 drivers. 51 driving professionals have grown, has added to, this time last year, we are 51 drivers more,
That's
which
amazing.
means more
Absolutely amazing.
capacity for our customers. So we're covering more freight, hauling more miles, and that's just a great sign of growth.
Our family's growing. It's nice.
That's this year, and that's still late November with 4 or 5 or more weeks left in 2022. So we're excited to see where we end up. But year over year, we've actually grown by about 50 drivers every year. That's kind of been our number. But we're excited to celebrate that kind of on the early side since we still have 4 weeks to play with. So fantastic job to our recruiting team and our driver services team and all the folks that make this such a special place to work. All right, so that was the reflecting. That was the looking back. Are you ready to transition to what's going on now?
Yes.
What's happening?
Please.
What's
So many
going on
things.
now?
Do it.
Well, it's autumn. The seasons have changed. Summer is now in the rearview mirror. Now it is autumn. But do you know autumn also has a second name? Did you know that, Jessica?
I did.
It's fall. In case I know you were going to try to
I
beat me
was.
to the punch there,
Darn
but
it.
some people call autumn fall. Do you know why that is?
Maybe because
Things start falling.
Oh, maybe. Yes.
Well, I looked it up. I mean, I thought the same thing, but I wanted to know what Wikipedia had to say because that's a legitimate resource. They call it fall for the falling of the leaves.
Sounds appropriate.
Right, and we've got some fall leaves right here as part of our decoration this morning, and a little turkey right there too. It's kind of fun. But that is what it's called. And so I started thinking to myself, thinking out loud here, fall is autumn, and that's when the leaves fall. But is winter then fall 2.0? Because after the leaves fall, doesn't then the snow often fall?
Hopefully only in the mountains.
Hopefully only elevated, yes. When it's time to go skiing or snowboarding, maybe. Anyhow, just food for thought right there for you. Anyhow, other things going on right now other than fall. Open enrollment. Do you want to tell us about what you know about open enrollment? Have you actually enrolled? Have you gone in and updated your information?
I did. I went and completed it yesterday, actually. Yes.
I did
Super
too.
easy now that it's all online now, too.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that's a great point. Open enrollment is happening right now. It started on the 14th and it goes through the 28th. So you got a couple of weeks to get in there, but it is all online. And so you log into your ADP profile, you select your beneficiary and confirm what plan options you want for 2023, and that will all go into effect January 1st for the next year. So if you haven't already, this is your reminder to get on your ADP account and to complete that information before November 28th.
There's
That's kinda
definitely
your
some
deadline.
things to review, though. There's not a lot of changes, but
Yep.
make sure you look through it.
Good call. Good call. Well, we're going to continue the now type of conversation, but I'm going to invite a guest to join us to help us focus in our conversation on service to our customers. So let's go ahead and invite Chris Perkins to join us. All right. Well, we're excited to have on the program with us Chris Perkins to talk all things customer service. Chris, hello.
Hello
How are you
there.
today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Jessica, how are you?
Amazing.
Are you still good? You're amazing. You're getting better as the program's going on. Well, Chris, I'm excited to have you on the program. On this particular portion, we're talking about things that are happening now, things that are important, and one of those things is service for our important customers. We want to talk about how important it is for service and why service is important, why service matters, and I'll just kind of leave it open and kind of fill in the blanks for us, Chris.
Well, thank you. We are hearing a lot from our customers over the last 8 months or so coming out of the pandemic of how important service has become to them. Previously, it was, we're happy to get a truck and get it there when you can. And that has changed. Service to their customers, the pressure is coming down on them quite heavily. And so they are requiring us to get our loads there on time, every time.
On time, every time. Well, that sounds like a dream come true. And in a perfect world, I would love to make sure all of our loads delivered on time, every day, 365 days of the year. But in actuality, it isn't realistic, is it? I mean, I hope that didn't burst any bubbles out there, customers, because there's things like weather, there's road closures, there's accidents, there's unforecasted construction, there's all sorts of stuff that can take a driver's ETA and throw it out the window,
Well,
right?
there's people, too, right?
There's
We
people,
think about
there's
our teams.
family emergencies,
Exactly.
absolutely. And so what's a practical way that we can ask our drivers to help getting consistent service to our customers?
So the biggest thing for our customers is communication. So they have an expectation that if we are running behind, if we're delayed due to weather or any other unforeseen situation a driver may incur, and we all know that's reality in the transportation world, is that we communicate ahead of time. That is the biggest key to our success and to their success too. They can plan their production, they can communicate back to their customers, they can make changes in schedules. So all of that is relative to service. We sell service.
Yeah.
And the communication piece is the most important part.
Yeah. And I don't think that's asking too much, right? I mean, if you think about it, when you set an appointment, when any of your teammates set an appointment, that's a commitment. We made a commitment. You can expect your freight to be delivered on this date at this time. And if that's going to change, or if that commitment isn't going to be met, they need to be informed so that they can staff their team accordingly, reschedule some deliveries. Maybe they can take a couple earlier if we're going to be an hour or two later because of unforeseen delays. So that communication piece has to be there. And I don't think that's asking too much. So communication to help us have a high level of service and to meet our customer needs. Because as we have been growing, I think I mentioned that earlier, that we're 51 drivers bigger than we were this time last year. We want to also continue to grow with our customers, and our customers are amazing. But we can't do that unless we meet those appointment commitments. And that's the important thing to hear here, right? The communication so that we can continue to grow and offer a high level of service to our customers. Anything else you think you want to add to that?
I would just say that as a driver receives load information and gets his or her assignments, to review the requirements. What are the appointments that are set on either the pickup side or the delivery side? And if we can't, as a driver, commit to that at that time, just to let your driver manager know. Bring it to our attention, and maybe we can push appointments forward, or maybe there's too much time and we can move it back. So we do have flexibility, and again, it just comes down to that communication. But the sooner that we know, the more successful we'll all be to take care of our customers.
Perfect. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for highlighting all that for us, Chris. It's been a joy to have you on the show. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, that was fantastic. That was fun to have Chris on the program. Continuing on the what's happening now, I want to remind folks that we need your help protecting our customers' freight. As we were talking about the importance of service, so is the freight inside the trailer. We've mentioned this on previous episodes and on fleet-wide announcements, but it bears repeating. Make sure you're checking your seal before leaving the shipper. Ensure that the seal on your trailer door is intact and matches the seal number printed on the bill of lading. When you're in transit, under dispatch, and when you're in transit, make sure you're parking in secure, well-lit areas. When possible, if it's an option, back the trailer up to something like a wall or a fence so that you're close enough, but just shy of the fence, to restrict access to the back of the trailer so the trailer doors can't even be opened. This will help prevent theft. Report any suspicious activity. And upon delivery, it's always a best practice, our recommended best practice. Note on that bill of lading, seal intact. Have the receiver initial or sign the paperwork noting that you arrived with that original shipper seal intact. That way, if there's anything missing, any damaged product, they know that nothing happened in transit. That is our recommended best practice, and just a great reminder for what's going on right now. Now, let's transition. We talked looking back. We talked about what's happening now. But let's look ahead. There's some exciting things on the horizon.
Oh, yes.
The holidays are one of them. The holidays are upon
Yay.
us.
Yes.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, among other things, New Year's. Lots of reasons to celebrate, no doubt. But folks have time that they need to be spending at home.
Now you need to see your family, your friends, your loved ones.
And so the reminder here is to plan ahead. If I want to take time off around the holidays, I better let my boss know. And the same goes for our drivers. If you want to get Thanksgiving off or Christmas or any special time, make sure you get a time off request in. We have a little fill in the blank message. We call them form messages here. You find that form messages, time off request. It says I want to be off from this date to this date. And I either want to use vacation or not. And that gets sent off to your driver manager for approval. And they can make sure they give you the load that gets you home and then get you back out running when you're ready to return to work. We want to make sure we get you home for those important things. But we don't know unless you tell us. So please communicate, plan ahead, and let us know for those special times you need to be at the house. Sound reasonable?
Absolutely. Communicate, just like Chris said.
Speaking of Thanksgiving, you know I was born on Thanksgiving? This is true. I'm not making this up. This is just not sensationalism for the program. I was born on a Thursday, in 1975. I don't know why I just told you guys my age, but it's true. I was born on Thanksgiving on a Thursday. My dad always called me a turkey baby. My mom was always thankful. But Thanksgiving is a time of year of reflection and gratitude. And so I want to ask you guys, what are you thankful for? Jessica, what are you thankful for?
Family, lots of good friends. I mean, I have a wide circle of, Friendsgiving kind of friends, right? My kids and my dogs, and of course my Cheema family. Yeah. Like, this is my place. I love this place.
Morgan, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Come on behind the camera. Morgan, I know you're a thankful person. What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for my friends, my family, Cheema, and coffee.
Coffee.
How did I forget coffee? Coffee is amazing.
Yes. Well, here's what I'm thankful for. Obviously, family. You guys kind of stole my thunder. I mean, I was going to use family. I think you guys knew that and cheated. But yes, family's important. I love my wife and my 2 beautiful daughters. We have some great cats at our house. We were just talking about pets at the last break and how special they are. Grateful for this family. This team is like none other. It truly is. Team Cheema is a very special place, so grateful to be working here. And our drivers are second to none. I really am grateful for the drivers that work here that really help this company move forward.
We have exceptional drivers. We would not be in this place if we didn't have exceptional
No doubt.
drivers, so
Amen,
thank
sister. But here's my challenge to everybody watching today. Pro tip from JTP, that's me. Think about what you're thankful for. Think about those things that you're grateful for, but don't just think about them. Take a minute to share that with somebody. If you're thankful, that's great, but why don't you take it one step further and communicate out to the people that you care about and are grateful for. It's Thanksgiving after all.
It's odd. It doesn't have to be a big gesture.
That's right.
And just adding that you're thankful for someone.
That's right. All right, well, we've got a lot of guests on the program today. I'm excited. When we were down for our Albany, Oregon Drivers Lounge grand opening, we took some time with the team down in Albany, Oregon, and we've got some video footage from that event, so let's watch that next. All right, I am down here in Albany, Oregon, and I'm excited to spend a little time with the team and let you guys get to know them a little bit better. In order to do so, we are going to play a little game that I put together. I've asked everybody here on the panel to give me a little factoid, a little piece of trivia that maybe not everybody in this room already knows about each other. They've given that to me electronically. I'm going to read them off one at a time, and we'll kind of guess who it might be, and then ultimately the owner of that tidbit will put their hand up so that we can find out who it belongs to. I broke my femur twice when I was 5 and had to be in a full lower body cast due to the way it broke. The first time the doctor didn't set it right, and it broke again when I had an easy fall. Any guesses as to who that might be?
John.
John? All right. Any other guesses? Any other guesses? Yeah. You've had a couple breaks even since you worked here. That's a true story.
Not just one.
Not just one? Oh dear. There's a story there. Whose fact does that belong to?
That was me.
AJ! How old were you? 5?
5 years old. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And where were you when this happened?
I guess in a playroom or a den. My parents had a mattress leaned up against the wall that they told us not to play on, and of course my brother and I played on it, and it ended with me having a mattress fall on top of me.
Wow. Yeah. And a whole body cast?
Yes.
That's fantastic. Okay, so this next one, thank you, AJ.
Welcome.
This next tidbit, this individual has run a marathon. Who on this panel, any guesses who that might be?
Absolutely. Quincy.
Quincy?
I'm going to say
Carolyn?
Yes.
Any other guesses? Any other guesses? I don't think you got it yet. I don't think you got it. Who's run a marathon?
Grace.
John Self has run a marathon. How long ago was this, John?
Ooh, 2015.
2015?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wow.
Fantastic. And did you compete alone? Did you have a team with you?
I was just myself. Actually, my wife ran too, but she did the half.
Okay. And is this something you spent a lot of time preparing for, or are you just kind of one of those guys that just like enters and runs and dies at the end?
Well, both.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time preparing, but not nearly enough, and I definitely died at the end.
Yeah. Right on, right on. Would you ever do it again?
No.
No? That was a bucket list item. Check that box and...
Yeah, that's the best thing about it is now I have no desire to run ever again.
Not even casually, not even for exercise.
Nah.
No, just a marathon. All right, very good, very good. All right, I got another one here. This one says I played college basketball and majored in criminal justice. Guesses?
Quincy.
Quincy. Yeah. All right. All right. Is it actually Quincy? Who's this belong to? Great! Surprise! So, where did you play college basketball?
Western Oregon State.
Western Oregon State. And what position did you play?
Forward.
Forward. Fantastic. So you also played probably high school and college. You go to high school in the same area?
No, well, I went to high school in Monroe, here in Oregon, and I actually had a softball scholarship as well, but I broke my leg playing summer league right before I went into college, so I did not play softball. I went on and played basketball instead.
Wow, fantastic. A lot of broken bones in this group. I'm detecting. And criminal justice. What was your original intent with your major in criminal justice?
One of my friends that I went to high school with, her dad was the head parole and probation officer for Benton County, and he kind of recruited me into it. It was always an interest, and that's what I went into. And then I had kids and decided I did not want to be a part of that.
Yeah. And here a few careers later.
And here I am.
Cheema Freightlines.
Here I am.
Congratulations. Fantastic. All right, I got another one here for you. So let's see. This individual is has 7 siblings. 7 siblings and is the youngest of all 7. 7 siblings. Any guesses?
I'm gonna say Eric.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Quincy.
It's actually, whose is it?
It's mine.
It's actually Quincy, that's right. So you told me a bunch of stuff here. I kind of grabbed the 7 siblings piece. Share a little bit more about that.
So yeah, I have 7 siblings, and believe it or not, we're all 10, well, the youngest and the oldest is 10 years apart. So kind of do the math. So I just turned 50, and my oldest sister just turned 60.
Wow. You all get along? I mean, your siblings.
Oh yeah,
right?
we do. So there's 5 girls, and then there's 2 boys.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 5 girls were first, and then their dad passed away. My mom remarried, and then had me and my brother. So.
Well, fantastic. Big family.
Yeah, big family, close family.
Got some built-in buddies and
play
friends.
Yeah, a lot of play friends growing up.
So I'm going to add this. You also shared a little bonus. You're also a licensed wedding officiant.
Yeah, see, I was going to use that one originally, but I think they knew that. But what's the follow-up?
So yeah, why don't you tell me the strangest place that you have officiated a wedding?
It was in the Oregon State Penitentiary.
Penitentiary?
Yes. Yes.
Somebody got married in the penitentiary?
Yes.
Was it somebody that worked
So,
there?
No, this was an inmate. So my name was on a list of licensed officiants, and they can just choose from the list.
Okay.
And they don't have to know you. Well, I didn't know these individuals, and they pull you from the list, and you get the phone call, and there it is. It's through the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
So anybody in Oregon can call you and ask you to officiate their wedding.
Wow. I definitely did not know that about you. I definitely did not
So it
know
was
that
very
about you.
interesting.
Okay, on to the next one. So far, so great. You guys are doing fantastic. Except I don't think anybody's guessed anybody else's yet. So keep that in mind. This individual trained as and worked as a dental assistant out of high school. We need some like da 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 da.
I guess
da,
Carolyn.
There it is, the first jackpot. Carolyn, where was this?
That was in Arkansas.
Arkansas, fantastic.
Back in my home state.
Did you enjoy working on people's teeth?
Loved it.
Really?
Yeah, trained on kids. It was a high school program that's kind of college level courses that were offered during high school. And yeah, really liked it, working with kids.
Well, I'm going to go back and ask you to share a little something that you shared initially that decided, I'll tell this little dental story a little bit, but I want to tell you, you had another pretty interesting share earlier on. You want to tell me about that?
My little friend Gulu.
Gulu, your little friend Gulu.
Oh yeah, when I was 4 or 5 years old, I had the best friend ever, Gulu Patel, and my dad worked for his family, and his family apparently really liked me so much so that they approached my parents to try to talk them into an arranged marriage, which is their son Gulu.
And how did that play out?
Yeah, did not happen. 5 years old, apparently, too young.
Fantastic, awesome stuff. Okay, cool. We've got one left. So hopefully you guys can figure this one out. This individual has a Traeger, loves to cook, brisket, pulled pork, turkey, you name it. Who do you think that is?
Eric.
great.
Good.
Be prepared. I have
Yes.
been known to bring brisket in at times, so I do the random brisket.
That's fantastic. Well, you'll have to prepare some food for us, maybe even driver appreciation or some sort of random barbecue.
I've done it for driver appreciation too.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
We'll put you to the test. Very cool. All right, well thank you guys all for sharing, and let's take a minute just to kind of rapid fire run down the line and do a brief introduction. Tell everybody who's watching what your particular role is here at Cheema Freightlines. And maybe AJ, if you'd go first.
Sure, I can do that. So, my name's AJ. I'm the Director of Operations for the Pacific Northwest here at Cheema. I've been working in trucking for about 12 or 13 years now, with many of these folks at other organizations like Gordon and Interstate. And my role here is really just to make sure that these folks are all taking care of you drivers.
Fantastic. And you do a great job.
Thank you.
Eric, you're one of the newer members of the team. Tell us a little bit about your role here at Cheema Freightlines.
I'm the maintenance manager for the company. I'm here to help out Harry. We are working on improving our breakdown response for drivers who have having problems on the road. Got a lot of experience in it, last 15, 20 years. And as a driver before that, I was a driver for 19 years on the road.
Fantastic experience. Well, welcome to the squad, and thanks for taking care of our drivers. All right, Carolyn, tell the team what you guys do.
I've been with Cheema for 6 years, and I think most people know me as OS&D, and I currently am doing OS&D and carrier compliance.
Fantastic. Thank you, Carolyn. Quincy?
Yeah, so I'm Quincy, and I am a driver manager here, and been doing it since May, so still new, a little bit new, and new to trucking. Never done trucking before, so new to trucking, but got lots of years in distribution. So
fantastic. Happy to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
John, hello.
Hello. Yes, I'm John. I've been with Cheema for 3.5 years. It's gone by pretty fast. I'm the regional planner for the Northwest, so everything Oregon, Washington, and as we expand into Idaho, that would be me as well. I just love working with these guys here.
Cool, fantastic.
He and I worked together at one time.
True story?
True story, yep.
Quick question before we go on to Grace. How many of you guys have worked with somebody outside of Cheema Freightlines on this panel here? Have worked with somebody else at a previous employer? Oh, just the two of you haven't? Oh man, I thought it was 100% participation in that question. Okay, cool. That's a lot still. It's still a lot. Grace.
Hi, I'm Grace. I am a driver manager here in Albany, and I'm pretty new to Cheema. I've been here since August. I did this on a much smaller scale back when I was in college, and I'm just coming back into it, and I love being here.
Love having you. Love having all of you guys. So in many different ways, from maintenance to over shortage and damage to driver management, planning, and overall management, we have a great squad down here in Oregon. And just thanks for taking some time. Thanks for all the work that you do to take care of our driving professionals. We really appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Well, that was great, wasn't that, Jessica?
Absolutely.
That was fun.
I love that team.
That was a lot of fun. Now it's time for the Safety Corner with Scott Grafe. All right, I am joined, as always, by our safety lead, your friend and mine, Scott Grafe. Scott, thanks for joining us on the program. How are you today?
I'm doing all right.
Fantastic. Well, you have a safety minute for us. Tell us what you got.
I was going to talk about winter weather and driving. Winter is a very beautiful time of year. It's also a very dangerous time of the year. And if you're driving an 80,000-pound truck out there on the highways, it's a little bit more dangerous than driving a car. And I just have some tips to help keep drivers safe out there on the roads. When we get it started, the first, keep an eye on the outside temperature. As you guys travel 500-600 miles a day or more sometimes, where you start your drive at whatever temperature was there, it's going to change throughout the day. Elevation changes. 32 degrees is when you need to start looking for signs of ice in the road. 26 to 32 degrees is when the roads are most slippery. Some warning signs. Vehicles in the ditch, tire tracks leading off the road, ice forming in the corner of windshield. And then the road has a sheen on it, but passing vehicles are not kicking up any spray. It's a very telltale sign that you're on ice. Give four-wheelers plenty of space out there. A lot of car drivers panic in foul weather, or they go overconfident in their driving ability. Both are dangerous drivers, and you want to give them plenty of room. And consider shutting down. Sometimes the wisest thing to do in winter weather is just stop. Wait that storm out. Often it's just maybe overnight or a few hours. And obviously, if you do not feel safe to proceed, pull over and wait that thing out. Just let dispatch know it's going to affect your load. We fully support you not driving when you don't feel safe. Carry extra supplies like blankets, canned foods. You gotta have a can opener. Other dry foods, hand and foot warmers, water, mittens. Mittens are warmer than gloves if you're trying to stay warm. Have the right foot gear on with you. Shoes with large treads or raised patterns are best. If you have a CB radio, keep it on, turn it on, listen to people out there. They give out warnings, and you can ask them questions, especially if drivers going the opposite direction to you. You can ask them what you're getting into. Nothing wrong with that. And stay in contact with other drivers. That can be helpful. When you have freezing temperatures outside, proceed with caution when going over bridges. They do freeze before the roads. I'm sure anybody driving has seen those signs, bridge freezes before road service. You want to slow down, you're less likely to lose control of your truck. When accelerating, do so slowly. And if you can coast into a stop and then brake lightly when you need to come to stop, that is much better than having to jam on your brakes. Probably the quickest way to lose control of your rig is that brake pedal. Keep a firm grip on your steering wheel. With winter storms, you tend to get winds and slippery roads. You want to be ready for anything. Be on the lookout for black ice. What is black ice? It is a nearly transparent film of ice on a dark surface, such as a paved road, that is difficult to see. It's almost perfectly clear. It has no trapped air bubbles, no swirls in it. It is only black because you can see the pavement surface underneath. And when it forms is when air temperature is warmer than the pavement. Again, the spray technique, if you see spray coming off tires, the roads are wet and safer. When you don't see that spray, you are getting into dangerous territory. So always be alert. Follow all road signs when you see them. Leave your cruise control off on slippery roads. You don't want the engine applying power at the wrong moment. It can throw you into skid. Likewise, your engine brake. It can cause your drive tires to lose traction, leading to a loss of control. And keep your fuel tanks full. If you do get stranded out there on the side of a mountain, at least you'll be able to stay warm. And plan ahead. Know where truck stops are along your route. So if you need to pull over, shut down, you have an idea where you can do so. And then when you're outside of your truck, we just can't forget about winter weather on the roads. When we're outside of our trucks and we're on slippery surfaces, keep your hands out of your pocket. Walking with your hands in your pocket decreases your ability to balance. You can get that hand out and start keeping your balance. And if you slip, you can use your hands to break your fall. When walking, one of the technique I've heard is walk like a penguin to avoid slipping and falling. So you point your feet out slightly, toes out, and just walk slowly. Keep your feet spread a little bit and thin bend slightly and walk flat, footed with your body directly over your feet. That is the easiest way to walk on slippery surfaces, especially ice. And then when it is winter and slippery conditions exist, be extra careful when getting out of your truck. Remember to always use those 3 points of contact. They work and they'll keep you from getting injured.
Perfect.
So a little bit long, but there it is.
All good things. No, I certainly appreciate that. We want to make sure we keep all of our driving professionals safe, not only them, but our families and other people on the roadway. So thank you so much for all those things.
You are welcome.
All right. All right. Good job, Scott. Now we are introducing a new segment to the program. We're calling this the Maintenance Minute. And for this, we're going to head off to the shop to see a special guest. Maintenance Minute. All right, I'm here in the shop now, joined by my friend Eric Donahue. Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
Doing good.
Fantastic. Eric has a maintenance minute to share with us. So, Eric, go ahead. Take it away.
Well, as all you professional drivers know, air operates the truck. Everything from your transmission to your brakes. Got to have good, clean, dry air. Trucks are equipped with air dryers, and this does take most of the moisture out, but it does not take all of it out. So it's really important, especially this time of year, to drain your tanks. On a Freightliner, if you pull back on the step down here, look down, there's two bolts down here, you'll see a lanyard down here. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the steps so you can see it a little bit better. It is right here, just once a day or, every other day. Pull that out, let it run. If there's any moisture, it should come out right there. What happens this time of year, if moisture gets into the valves, into your transmission, when it's cold outside, it will freeze up. You will either not build up air pressure or your transmission will not work. So it's pretty much as simple as that. The Kenworths, there are 3 lanyards on the Kenworths and on the Peterbilts also in the same location. Got a little drop box there. You just reach back in there and pull on those. You'll hear the air come out. Once a day, once every couple of days. It makes a difference.
Perfect. We want to keep these things run like they're designed to run.
Yes.
Appreciate it so much, Eric. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
All right, well, that was great information from Eric in the shop. We continue to remind folks about this great tool we have called WorkHound. Some of you might be tired of hearing about it. We're not tired of talking about it. That's because it gives us so much great and helpful information from our drivers that are out there, eyes and ears of our operation. And so we use a dedicated portion of our Cheema Connect program to talk about some of the feedback that we've gotten and to share back with you guys some of the action that has been taken based on that feedback. Sounds pretty cool to me. And I've got Jessica here. She's going to read off some of the feedback one at a time, and I'm going to respond by telling you some of the items that we have put into action.
The first one was about a coffee machine in Pacific.
Yeah, so
I gotta hear this.
Yeah, in Albany, Oregon, when we did the grand opening for the driver's lounge, there was this fantastic coffee machine, and you push a button and it makes any coffee you've ever dreamed of. Anyhow, people were asking, well, why don't we have that great of a coffee machine? We have a Keurig up in the Pacific Washington driver's lounge. That's pretty cool. Coffee's free. That's also cool. We all like coffee. We're thankful for it.
Yes, thank you.
But the recommendation was, why can't we get one of those up here? Well, guess what? On November 15th, one was put in at the Pacific Washington Driver's Lounge. So that has been solved.
Those are so fun.
What's
Lots
next?
of buttons. The Vancouver, Washington yard mess.
So yes, we've
What
gotten
happened
some
there?
feedback from the drivers that have been parking equipment at the newer yard that we've been using in the Vancouver, Washington area, that there's equipment parked in the way, that some other carriers are parking where we should be parking, and they're not super clear where we should be parking our equipment. So signage has been ordered, number one. We have contacted the yard owner and mentioned that there were some pups and some other equipment that was parking in such a way that it was prohibiting us from being able to back up properly. That has since been moved, and they've gotten everything organized so that not only they can tell where our equipment belongs, but where other carriers shouldn't be parking, and we have extra eyes from the yard ownership to make sure that we hold everybody accountable that's also parking in that yard. But thanks again to you guys for letting us know about it so that we could put those things into motion. What's next?
Some frustration about discovering some missed items in a post-trip inspection.
Okay, I get this. I totally get this.
I
and
get
I would
this
be
too.
frustrated too.
I read the Facebook posts too.
Yeah.
I see it and I hear it too.
So to re-articulate, we've gotten some drivers saying, hey man, I just hooked up to this trailer. I did my proper pre-trip inspection like I'm required to do. When I did my lap around the trailer, I found X defect, whether it be a flat tire or a light out or damage that didn't get reported. So they're asking, how come I'm finding this for the first time? How come the last driver or person to use this piece of equipment didn't flag this, didn't note this? Why is it my problem to have to worry about, right? Because maintenance takes time to repair. So if you're going to wait for that to get fixed before you roll, that's going to be time out of your pocket that you're not running down the road.
That's true.
Get it. I get it. It's frustrating.
Absolutely.
But my response to you is this. We hear you. Number two, we hold our drivers accountable. So when you let us know you found this defect, guess what we do? We don't only just say, okay, let's fix it. We also look back historically to find out the last driver or carrier to touch that piece of equipment and hold them accountable. Keep in mind, it might not always be another Cheema driver. It could be another contract carrier. It could be a customer's hostler or another person that had shuttled the trailer from one place to the other in the same yard. But we do have accountability set up just for that. But when you catch it, reporting it is the first step in getting that accountability moving forward. So thanks for letting us know. Keep that information coming and keep up the great work on that front. But we feel you. There's one more, and this one is hot off the press. This one is like news flash bulletin. Jessica, will you read the comment?
So I've also heard about the ocean that this has been a problem with, right, too? So gravel lot in Oregon, the Albany yard.
I'll have you know that we have had a terminal in Albany, Oregon, just a little over a year. So I know this because Driver Appreciation Week this year was at that terminal location. And last year we also did it there without a driver's lounge. And it was right after we had moved in. I just remember that. So we've been there just a little over a year. That was in September. So a year from September, a little prior to that. Anyhow, it's been just a little over a year, and a lot of the feedback that we've gotten was, oh man, when are you going to pave this yard? When are you going to pave this yard? We really like to have this yard paved. Well, guess what? I just got a photo or a video
I saw
from
it.
the VP of Operations that said, please let everybody know that today the Albany, Oregon terminal is being paved. So pause for appreciation. That's one thing to be thankful for.
huge, yeah.
I know our team in Oregon certainly appreciates that. So that's a really exciting announcement for us to share with you guys. So we hear you, we hear the feedback, and we're putting it into action. So thanks for letting us know. All right, well, we're about to wrap up. I just want to make sure that folks that are excited about what we're doing here at Cheema Freightlines have an opportunity to join the team. Again, I really, really enjoyed the 6 years I've been here. I've been in the industry for about 18 years, 6 of which I've spent here with this amazing crew. Thanks to Jessica, by the way, because she was my referral. She got me here in the first place. So if you are interested in joining this team, whether it be in the office or behind the wheel of one of our beautiful green Freightliners, give us a call. Our recruiting line is 844-424-3362. Or if you want to start an application to drive for Cheema Freightlines, you can go to teamcheema.com. Can you say that with me, Jessica? Teamcheema.com. Wow, she's good at that.
I am.
We love to talk trucking. Give us a call. We'll talk trucking. We'll get you here. Join the team. It's a great place to be. All right. That's all I brought to the table today. Is there anything else you want to add? Any shout outs for your team?
Of course, my whole team, everybody. I'm not just the billing manager. I work for Cheema, and I am, again, thankful for everybody here. So shout out to everybody out there in the office.
Yep. Shout out to my driver services team. Shout out to IT, because they're always behind the scenes, not getting any of the credit. But Morgan and Hans do a fantastic
Incredible
job recording
job.
the audio, recording the video, just dealing with me in general. Okay, that's a handful.
I think dealing with all of us. For
Yeah,
sure.
so super shout out to IT. Very great job. Thanks for joining us, being a part of the program. Have a happy, wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll see you on our next episode.
Bye.